Hello everyone, welcome back to my YouTube channel. This is the summary version of my podcast episode, and if you've already listened to it, it aired yesterday, entitled "What Does Confidence Mean to You?" So I think for a lot of people, confidence can mean so many different things relating to different aspects of that individual's life. And I wanted to do this episode because I was thinking about when I had lost my daughter and how much my confidence in being a mum had been drastically affected. I thought I wasn't a great mum. My confidence in how I wanted to raise my children and actually just have normal discussions. And I noticed that my personality had also changed following the loss of my daughter. And then I was thinking about how am I now going to be a coach? How on earth do I restart my coaching business when I lack so much confidence? Because in my mind, I was thinking, oh my gosh, how can I coach other people? How can I reach out to clients when I was unable to see or notice that my own child had issues? And then I was also thinking about our team brand business. How can I start or relaunch our team brand business? And I had all of these confidence issues going on and on and on in my mind, and I knew that I was beating myself up. But when I started a bit of therapy, that was the bereavement therapy that I went through, and then I got my coach, which I still have today. And when I was going through that process, it allowed me to work through various areas of why I felt I had lost my confidence, and the fact that just because something terrible happens to you, it doesn't mean that that is the sum total of who you are or whether or not you can move forward. And your confidence is really based upon whether or not you have enough self-belief in yourself to attack that goal or dream that you're trying to pursue. And I think a lot of times when people say statements like, I don't have any confidence, I think oftentimes it really relates to having the nerve to put yourself out there when you know that you're going to be judged. So confidence for some people could mean not having the confidence to be having body confidence, And as you know, we're all at the minute, we're all stuck at home and we're all trying to look reasonably normal and feel good in our own skin. And so for me, for example, not being able to go to the hairdressers, look, I've had to put this wrap on. And so, for a lot of people, it takes a lot of confidence just to strip back all of our creature comforts. For example, being able to go to the hairdressers. Does confidence mean to you being able to be relied upon? Are you the go-to person at work where people can actually rely upon you to carry a project through? Are you the sort of person at work that will regularly raise their hands or come up with new ideas? You don't feel scared to speak up for what you believe. Does confidence mean that to you? And I remember when I was growing up, I know you're actually not going to believe this, but when I was growing up, I had the worst. Yes, I had the worst stutter. Like, I actually couldn't speak. It was just so awful. And it really crippled and it blighted my entire childhood because I was just so nervous. I couldn't get my words out. I hated raising my hand in class. And if the teacher ever asked me to read a passage from a book, it really knocked my confidence. So a lot of people may have confidence issues relating to their upbringing, for example, schools. You know, if you were bullied at school, or if you were like me, you had issues speaking, you had a speech impediment, whatever the case may be, those confidence issues that you experienced in your childhood, oftentimes people carry that into their adulthood, and that also can affect someone's confidence. But then on the other side of the coin, when you hear people, and I often hear this with clients that I work with, and they say, I haven't got, confidence to reach out to people. I haven't got confidence to, post something about what it is that I'm doing. I always like to twist that question and say this. Most of us, the vast majority of us, have a social media account, right? So when someone says, or if you've ever said this statement to yourself, I don't have enough confidence to do X, Y, and Z, I would like to put it to you, I would like to argue that statement and say, if you've got a social media account, if you've got a YouTube channel, if you've got an Instagram, Facebook, Twitter, Snapchat, TikTok, and the list goes on and on and on. If you've had the nerve or the confidence to open up a social media account, whether or not that account is private or it's in the public domain where anybody can see your post, wouldn't you agree that takes a level of confidence to do that? Because you're putting yourself out there, right? If you're posting pictures of yourself, of your family, whatever the case may be, the simple fact that you have a social media account, you've had the confidence to create an account, and even if it's private, it really doesn't matter. You've proven to yourself that you have that level of confidence. Now, if you're saying you don't have confidence to really put yourself out there, to talk about the goods and service, to share your story, to reach out, to lead, then that is different. And when people often say they don't have confidence, what they're really talking about, particularly if you're in business, is the fact that there's this fear of failure. It's the fear of rejection. It's the fear of now exposing yourself in a different level. It's the fear of people seeing you different, separate to how they view you. And now that itself will take confidence. But then what you've got to say to yourself is this, like, as a business owner, right? You have no one to fall back on. You've got no one to look up to except yourself. The entire responsibility of your job, of your business, relies upon you. There is no subordinates to blame if things don't get done. If you don't send out that email, or if you don't send out that order, or if you don't post about your business, then everything falls upon you. So when people say they lack confidence, and it's to do with either having a business, it's all of those fears of putting yourself out and the fear of rejection. But here's the thing. If you do not promote, reach out, if you don't take the necessary action that will propel your business to the next level, or if you don't step out and have the confidence to either say, okay, I want to lose a bit of weight, I want to apply for a job, I want to highlight issues within my organisation, the place that I work with, I want to go and speak to my manager and say to my manager that, look, I think we can increase productivity in this area if we get rid of this. We can save time and money. The company can save money if we do X, Y, and Z. And I've got a few ideas. What do you think? If you don't have the confidence to do all of those things that matter to you, you are never, ever going to raise your confidence level. And the whole point of that is this, okay? If you want to do something and you're not entirely sure as to whether or not you are going to succeed, you're never going to raise your confidence. You're never going to be confident enough for you to be able to do anything. People fail at something, but it doesn't mean that, oh, they can never get past that failure. And actually what it's showing you is this: once you get past that fear barrier and you attempt something, and maybe you don't reach the dazzling heights that you wanted in your first try, what you would have proven to yourself is this: you didn't die, nothing bad happened, but you would have learned an incredibly valuable lesson. If you don't stand up or speak up for the things that matter to you, nothing in your organization, if you're at work, is ever going to change, right? If you don't take that step to start a business or take your side hustle and make it into something bigger, you are never going to know that. You're never going to be able to raise your confidence. The more you do something, the greater your confidence increases. And there are lots of things that you can do, like I've just mentioned, to increase and raise your confidence. Number one, you need to establish, what does confidence really mean to you? Forget about you comparing yourself to everybody else. What does confidence really mean to you? And I'm going to need you to get a pen and paper and write down three things or three words that describe what confidence means to you. Remember, this is your version of being confident. So if confidence means to you being able to look really beautiful, okay, what can you do to accomplish that? What do you need to do today that will give you that level of body confidence? If confidence to you means being able to speak up at meetings or raise issues with your line manager or those that are in charge, what do you need to do? What level of confidence do you need to pluck up that courage to go and speak to your manager? If confidence to you means starting a business, if confidence to you means you want to take your side hustle and make it into something bigger than what it is now, what do you need to do that will get you from point A to point B? What have you got to do that? So I want you to write down 3 words or 3 sentences that best describe what your level of confidence means to you, and then the things that you need to do to accomplish and achieve and raise your confidence level. I want you to be in a position where you can look at yourself in the mirror and you can say to yourself that I am not comparing myself to anybody else. This is me, and I'm confident and I believe in myself. If you do not have that level of self-belief, I wish I could put it inside of you, but if you don't have that level of self-belief, you are never ever going to raise your confidence. So for me, as I said earlier on, when I did bereavement therapy, when I got my coach and mentor that I still have now, my issue of confidence was to deal with the loss of my daughter and not blame myself or not perceive that I'm not a great mum. My level of confidence then was to work through my issues, try to strategize. How can I restart our team brand business? How can I reach out to leads so that I'm able to add the value, my experiences of starting a business and what I've done to fix my mindset, fix myself. How was I going to do that? And I was able to do all of that because I simply asked myself questions. What does confidence mean to me? What do I need to do in order for me to gain back that control, my own self-control, my own confidence? And that is the exact same thing that I want you guys to do. I want you to ask yourself the questions that I've already mentioned, and then look yourself in the mirror and say to yourself that even if I speak up, I try to start a business or whatever the case may be, my expectations is the fact that I'm proud of myself, that I had the courage and the confidence to put myself out there. If you don't talk about your business on social media or whatever avenue that you decide to use to draw in customers and attention to your business, how's your confidence ever going to be raised? How's your confidence level going to raise from here to there if you never reach out? Remember, whatever goods and services you're trying to bring to the marketplace, people need to know about that. So instead of feeling like, oh, people are going to judge me or I'm going to feel rejected, remember what I've always said: what other people think of you is none of your business, okay? Be laser focused. You're doing this for a reason. If you've got a social media account, I would suggest to you that you already have the confidence. Get past the fear of rejection, all of the no's, because you're going to get these no's anyway. So accept that and push forward and be proud of yourself and say to yourself, look, I'm doing something great, okay? And because of that, there is no room or any reasoning as to my level of confidence not to be this high instead of this low. So I hope you've found today's video super helpful. Please like and share, subscribe to my channel. Look out for next week's video and my podcast episode. And remember, guys, be great because you are.